Okay guys, ADPC Customs here again, and we're going to have another look into the nVidia app. The last video did surprisingly well, for me anyway, and I thought I'd have another quick look in the app and we'll have a closer look at the overclock. It's not going to be a massively long video, it's not hugely involved, so with no further ado, let's have a look. Here we are, back in the app again, and we'll go to System. Here's the overview. Once again, you can pause the video and have a look here at my rig details. And we'll go into performance. And here we are. So, it shows you the statistics. Whoa, I really need to fix my mouth. Possibly the painkillers for my shoulder. Here are the statistics for the GPU. The live statistics as it's running at the moment. And as I pointed out in the last video, it's for some reason not picking up the fan speed on my GPU, even though the fans are spinning. I assure you there is nothing wrong with the graphics card. It has been working fine. Yes, it was used from what the Americans would call a pawn shop. It was from, let me think now, CEX. I refuse to call it by the name they call it in their adverts. It makes no sense to me to call it that. CEX. And here's some statistics of my PC as it's running now with what's running. I do have Chrome running in the background. I was just on YouTube catching up on some of the videos I like to watch, not just making one. And I do have OBS running as well while I'm making this video. So the GPU clock is currently bouncing up and down, high and low, as you can see, and there is an automatic overclock applied by the nVidia app. Currently drawing around 20 to 22 watts of power, running at 36, 37, 38 degrees, less than a volt. The VRAM clock is bouncing around the 5000 megahertz, down as low as about 800. Utilization is going up and down a little bit. That's because there is a lot of stuff going on in the background and I am moving the mouse around, and it is obviously driving my display. CPU utilization is bouncing around. That's not really important to us at this moment, and it's not picking up the fan speed. Now, this little toggle here is how you apply the automatic tuning. Sorry. As you can see, a month ago, it updated the overclock applied to my system, and it's given me 117 megahertz on the GPU and 200 megahertz on the VRAM. Now, if you click here, it'll restore back to the out-of-the-box settings for your GPU, and you're back to stock, and you can go about your overclocking all over again. Now, if we uncheck this, that means that it's not going to auto-tune, it's not going to change the performance or anything. It's just going to either sit at stock, or I think it might even sit at what the overclock that's been applied until you click restore. Now, as soon as you click this button again, as if it was the first time, it will start scanning, looking for the latest tuning information for this GPU. It tells you avoid GPU intensive tasks. We're just running in Windows. We've got OBS running, but it's not really going to tax the GPU a lot, and it's going to keep trying new clock speeds and VRAM clock speeds. Now, it'll keep running and keep running and keep running. This could take a few minutes. It didn't. It's come up with the exact same one as before. Oh, automatic tuning was interrupted. I don't know why, but anyway, it's not really important right now. And as you can see, you can adjust these things yourself. So first of all, let's have a look at the automatic tuning. Let's look at the information. Automatic tuner, which finds the best overclock settings using an advanced scanning algorithm and manages your GPU tuning profile for you. It's performed on a monthly basis when your system is idle to maintain optimal performance. So it's a set it and forget it feature. which is quite useful if you're not really into your overclocks, but you want to try and get as much performance as you can out of the GPU you have. That's really useful. And if you're the kind of person who, if you bought an nVidia GPU, you're gonna download and install the GPU software from nVidia, and you don't really want to start messing around with things like Afterburner and so on and so forth, that's really, really useful. Now you've got your performance limits down here. Performance limits set the operating range for the automatic tuner to find the best overclock settings for your GPU. So, it's not so much manually overclocking, because none of these, you can't click on any of these and set it yourself. The maximum power available is 100%, so it will use 100% power, and it will aim for a target of whatever temperature in centigrade you set. So if you are willing to let your GPU run a little hotter, it will give you different overclocks based on that, and the voltage. At the moment, the voltage is set to 0 maximum voltage. I think it will allow anything. But we can slide this up, all the way up to 100% of the voltage. And see if that gives us a new overclock. So it's going to scan based on those settings. And we've left the fan speed target to automatic, so it will automatically tune the fan speed suitable to the overclock that gets applied. Or you can ignore that, ramp up your fans to the maximum to give you maximum cooling, and see how it goes from there. I know a lot of people do prefer to have their it's interrupted again, possibly because we have OBS running in the background. Let's see, automatic tuning, high GPU utilization, follow-up scan will be scheduled when the system is idle. It's because I'm running OBS in the background, but we'll try again, see if it'll do it. And it's trying. Probably going to get interrupted again, but this is how it works. There's no real manual tuning available for this. You can turn it off or turn it on. Yeah, it was interrupted again. What I'm going to do in a moment is probably I'll edit into the video back to what we get from this. So I will stop recording and close down OBS and see if I can get an overclock with these settings, and we'll come straight back. Okay, so we're back. That took quite some time, and as you can see, everything's a lot more stable now. I've got my new overclock. Oh, apparently it was interrupted again. Even though it wasn't, it was applied. I've got now 107 megahertz on the GPU and 200 still on the VRAM. So I've actually lost 10 megahertz on that with those changes. I'll have a little bit of a play with that after the video and get things standard. Well, I say standard, back to how they were before. But basically that is how that works. It also shows you there's still life in the 1650. Fan speed targets, you can either set that manually or automatically, and your temperature, you can adjust your temperature, what temperature you're willing to allow the GPU to get to, and that will affect your performance. Now, here we go. Let's see. I think somewhere I have heaven benchmark. There we go. Run heaven. Or see if we can run heaven. Bear in mind, this will be hit a little bit by the fact that I'm running OBS in the background. So, yep. And we will run. See how this goes. Okay, so graphics are currently running at 2190 megahertz. Memory is at 5951, and the temperature is 51 degrees, and we're getting around 60 plus FPS. So not terrible. Not terrible. It's a very large screen. Ooh, FPS has plummeted there, has it? No, it's because it's off the screen. We're doing alright. We're doing alright. Heaven is an older benchmark, but this is an older GPU, so it runs quite nicely. The only stutters we've had have been trying to move the window. I don't think we need to keep this running for much longer. It's fine. Yeah. So nVidia overclocking, it does work. It does give you good quality overclocks. Okay, what we'll do now then is we'll have a quick look at MSI Afterburner. So we'll load up MSI Afterburner and we'll have a little comparison here. It's what we can do. Here's MSI Afterburner. Oh, not that. Here's MSI Afterburner. We'll update that later. I don't really use it very much anymore. So the clock is at. Oh, there we go. This gives you a lot more control. The only difference is no control over voltage. In nVidia's tuning utility, your only control over the core voltage is the percentage, not actually adding even more. You can either use all of the voltage that's allowed or a percentage of it. Here, if you had the right kind of card, you could add more millivolts. You could do that. Here you've got your control over your temp limit, your core clock, your memory clock, your fan speed, just as you do in there, but you can adjust this manually and do it however you want. Now, I've got a few profiles saved, and this is one of my profiles. We'll apply it. My fans have just kicked in. I have. There we go. My memory is now at nearly 6,000. Goes up to nearly 6,000, and my core clock goes up higher. It's currently not really being used, but when it's being used, that clock will kick in and go like nobody's business. So, yeah, the nVidia app, it's more of a auto-tune, set it and forget it for those who don't really understand or want to get into the weeds when it comes to overclocking. But it's a very useful utility, allowing people to get into tuning their system to get better performance. And that's the end of this video. So like, subscribe, and comment in the comments below any videos you'd like to see in the future, or anything you'd like me to look at in more detail with this nVidia app, or if there's another app you'd like me to take a look at. I am looking into doing the comparison for the optimization functionality of the app. I'm trying to decide what game to use for that optimization, or if I should just install a new game for that. Comment your suggestions below, and I will see you in the next one.